Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So we're going to continue the last part of the register. Okay, it's about the ring counter, Johnson counters and linear feedback shift register. Okay, so as usual I will teach based from module. Okay, you guys may refer to the slides as well, and also you may refer to the internet. Okay, so internet have a lot of information. Okay, and YouTube will be helpful. For example, this one, okay, you will see that different configuration to operate a 4-bit ring counter at YouTube. Okay, so before we start, okay, this lecture will require the pre-understanding of D flip-flop. Okay, as I know that you guys should you know should understand already, but I just want to recap. Okay, even though it's going to waste our lecture time, but it's better than you know it's better than you it's better than you forget about this D flip-flop then I suddenly jump. Okay, so I'm trying this for the sake of your understanding. So for D flip-flop, if you see, this is D flip-flop. Okay, you must be able to differentiate what the difference with the latch. Okay, so D flip-flop, this is the clock, means there is no bar, means this one is based on the rising edge. Okay, so that's why you see rising edge. Okay, we have two condition when the clock is 0 and when the clock is 1. Okay, okay, when the clock is 0 or when the clock is 1, and then you have rising edge and you have falling edge. Okay, so when the clock is either 0 or 1, we don't care about the input of X. Okay, we don't care about the input of X, which is D here. Okay, because that the next step will just follow the previous output. There's no change in the outputs. However, okay, because this is based on the rising edge of clock, so when there is a rising edge, then we have a change of outputs. Okay, so if your D is 0, okay, your next state will be reset to 0, and then when at the next rising edge, if your D is 1, it will be set to 1. Okay, for the next state output. Okay, so I hope this understand. I hope you guys understand this. Okay, now we continue to the next lecture, okay, which is about our counter. You see my book is already like belacan already. Okay, means that I read the books a lot. Okay, and I hope you too. Okay, inshallah. Okay, please read a lot, and from the slide from the internet. Okay, hopefully inshallah I hope you guys all succeed. Okay, so 4-bit ring counter. So 4-bit ring counter is a bit different than the other counter, because other counter or other is a bit different, okay, from the previous that you have learned, that you understand. Because you understand before, if we have 4 chip, for example, it will be like 2 to the power of 4, then you have 16 combination. Am I correct? Okay, but 4-bit but 4 ring counter is different. If you have 4 flip-flop, mean you have, if you have 4 chip here, mean you will have 4 state. Okay, so the number is the same, so the number of flip-flop is equal to the number of state. Okay, I just write whatever as long as you guys understand. Okay, so your n flip-flop is equal to number of state. So this is a bit not special, different. Okay, counter ring counter than the rest of the things that you have understand. Okay, and that you learn in the previous lecture. Okay, so in ring counter, 4 flip-flop or 4 whatever that you have is your state will be 4, the same number. Okay, so I won't read so much, I will do some summarization. Okay, so the ring counter, also known as straight ring counter over back, circulate a single 1 or in a shift register 1 or 0. So the output of the last stage is fed back to the input of the first stage. Okay, if you notice, okay, the output of the last stage is fed back to the input of the first stage. Okay, one of the flip-flop must be preloaded with 1 or 0 for the shift register to operate properly. Okay. Figure 12.13 show the design of a 4-bit ring counters. The operation of counter can be described graphically using state diagram. Okay, you see it here. One way to analyze the ring counter is reloading the first flip-flop with 1. So means before we start this ring counter, we pre-input. Okay, we pre-input the first flip-flop. We pre-input the first flip-flop with value of 1. Okay, when all remaining flip-flops are 0. Okay. Another method of digitalizing the counter is by using the preset and clear input to the flip-flop. A reset signal is connected to the preset input of the first flip-flop and the clear input of all the remaining flip-flop. When the reset signal is asserted, okay, when the reset signal is set, okay, don't confuse about this word, okay. When the reset signal is set, the counter is initialized to the first state in the state diagram. Means it's counter back to 100, for example, okay, after it finished the circulation. Okay, so like I told you, you have many combinations of the ring counter. Okay, but like for this, you have this combination, and in YouTube you have different combinations. Okay, but as long as you guys should understand the concept. Okay, so let's put this book away. Okay, and I'm using a simple, just a simple operations, okay, of a ring counter. Okay, so notice you have all clock. Okay, this one can be a rising edge or falling edge, so you need to be aware of this. Okay, so here we just use, for example, we just use a rising edge. Okay, so no inverted bar. Okay, because we are using rising edge. This is your clock. Okay, then you have your output. Am I correct? You have your output QA, QB, QC, and QD. Okay, and then you have your D here, which is your DA. Okay, then you have connected wire. Okay, you can, and then what it says, the output of the last stage is fed back to the input of the first stage. Okay, you can see. Okay, the output of the last stage is fed back to the input of the first stage. So this is basically, okay, you guys can see it's a bit different from the module. Okay, and you can test the operation in the module for your understanding. And you, like I told you, there is a lot of other example for ring counter at YouTube as well, and other internet sources, and other, maybe in other books. Okay, you can try to see. Okay, so you see, first, before I continue, here they say for 4-bit ring counter, the input to the first flip-flop is DA equals to A, B, C. Okay, this one, if you notice, it is based from the ring counter that provided here. Okay, sorry, I don't know how you guys can see because they are not. Okay, this equation DA equals to bar A, bar B, bar C is actually, okay, referring to this 4-bit ring counter. Okay, I want to make you guys can test this. Okay, I want to make an easy understanding for you, so I just go to the very basic. Okay, okay, first it says that it is preloaded with 1. Okay, with 1, while the other is 0. Okay, So at the first clock, okay, at the first rising edge, let's say now we have the clock, okay. Okay, so where is the rising edge of the clock? This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Am I correct? Okay. So this one is a bit simpler, right? But this is to make you guys understand. Okay. Then when you understand this, you can relate with the circuit in the module, and after that, I hope you guys will try to see from online. Okay. So it will help you to see a more variation of ring counter, because in the YouTube they will also teach you about overriding. Okay, you can go there to the YouTube about overriding. Okay, about overriding the input and overriding all the outputs, something like that. Okay, please try, make your effort to explore more. Okay, so this is the clock. Okay, and if you see it's rising edge, and then we have QA, QB, QC, and okay, I hope I have space, QA, QB, and QD. Okay, so now we make a line, okay, just to see the base level. Okay, so at the first rising edge of the clock, okay, at the first rising edge of the clock, all of this, before all of this is 0, then this is 1. At the first rising edge, what happened is that your 1 here will be transferred to 1 here, okay, and 0 will transfer to 0, and 0 here will be transferred as output 0, and here will be 0. Okay, basically this is what happened at the first rising edge. So you see your QA, okay, your QA will be high. Okay, your QA will be high. How about your QB? At this stage, it is just 0. Okay, you can see, and the same goes for here. Okay. Then what happened is that at the next rising edge, okay, you can see before we having the next edge, you see this 0 will transfer to here. Am I correct? Okay, it will transfer to here. So when it transfer to here, at the next rising edge, okay, at the next rising edge, this 1 will be here. Okay, this 1, okay, I put different colors so that you guys understand. So this 0, okay, at the next second rising edge, it will transfer to here, 0. Okay, and then what happened to 1? The 1 will go to here. Okay, and then the 0 will go to here, this 0, and then this 0 will be here. Okay, so what happened is that when this is 0, okay, then your output will be 0 here. Okay, and this, when this is 1, the output will be 1. Okay, remember this is D flip-flop. And then when this is 0, the output of QC is 0. And then when this, for D flip-flop, when this is 0, the output of QD is 0. So you can see at the next, the second rising edge, okay, QA will be 0, and this one will be high, okay, and this one is still low, and this one is still low. Okay, so we make, okay, so you can see a difference there. Okay, so then let me choose different color now. Okay, so that you guys can differentiate the difference. Okay, I don't know where's my red color, but never mind. Okay, so now this 0, okay, now we see this is new 0, so this is your output now. Okay, I make it different color. So this 0 for the third rising edge, okay, for the third cycle, so 0 is transferred here, and your 1 and your 0 will transfer here. You see this 0 will transfer to here, and this 1 will transfer to here, and then this 0 will transfer to here. Okay, so at the next third rising edge, okay, so you see if this is 0, so you have 0 output here. Okay, so you continue 0. Okay, at QB, you see is this 0, so your output will be 0. Okay, however, for QC, you see you start to have 1 here. When you start to have 1, then the output of your QC will be 1 at the third rising edge. Okay, okay, and then what happened to QD? Because it's still 0, okay, so you still have output of 0. Okay, so then we go to the next rising edge. Okay, sorry, I try to find my red color because it will be more easy to distinguish if you have different colors. Oh, okay, I have different colors. Okay, I have different color. Orange. Okay, so orange. Now the third, and then at the fourth rising edge here. Okay, so at the fourth rising edge, what happened? There will be you have 0 here. Okay, your 0 will be transferred to here. Okay, your 0 now, and then your 0 here will be okay, 0 here, and then this 0 will be 0 here. Okay, and then this will be 0 here. Okay, okay, wait for a while. I don't want to make you guys confused. Okay, at the fourth cycle, so the 0 going to here. Okay, and then when you you have a 0 here, then you have a 0 here. Okay, and then you see the 1. Okay, remember the 1 here as your output. Okay, the 1 here we transfer to here. Okay, so at the next fourth rising edge, if you can see, 0 will be outputted as 0 at the fourth rising edge. Okay, and then for the QB, if you have 0 here, then you have another 0 here. Okay, and then for the QC, because you have 0, okay, and it will be for D flip-flop, you will have 0 output. Okay, okay, and then at QD, for the next fourth rising edge, you can see when this is 1, you have 1 as the output. Okay, okay, so I think you understand this. Okay, so this is the fourth rising edge. So you can see it is in a pattern. Okay, you can see it is in pattern like this. So this is you can see it is in pattern like this. Okay, so this is we call like a ring counter. Okay, okay, and of course the next stage is to be this one will be repeated. Okay, so you will have for the first is 1 0 0 0. Okay, later on is 0 1 0 0. Third rising edge 0 0 1 0. Fourth rising edge 0 0 0 1. Okay, then repeat. Okay, so what you have is that the first stage is this. Okay, so this is 4-bit, because for ring counter, the number of flip-flop or number of whatever chip that you have here is equivalent to the number of state. It's different. Okay, it's different from the what you learned from the previous lecture. Okay, so then it will go to, remember, because it's 4, so we need to have 4 state. Okay, sorry for the bad handwriting. So the next is what? 0 1 0 0. So 0 1 0 0, and the third one 0 0 1 0, and the last one 0 0 0 1 before resetting back to the previous state to the initial, which is 1000. Okay. So hopefully you understand about the ring counter. And remember, it mentioned that here, okay, when the reset signal is asserted, okay, the counter is initialized to the first state in the state diagram here. Okay, means you have a reset signal. Okay, for more you can see the more information about the ring counters from the YouTube. Okay, I don't want to overload you with information, because most a basic thing is that you must understand this first. Then when you watch YouTube, it will be a bit more simple, okay, to understand. It's easier to understand. Okay, so if you notice, my circuits use is a bit different from the module. Okay, now from my explanation, okay, I hope you guys can relate this condition, this paragraph with this. Okay, so I think it will be easier now. Okay, so see you in the next lecture, where I'm going to speak about okay, I hope I have enough memory. Okay, what I'm worried about my phone, because it's complaining of memory. I hope I can able to cover Johnson counter. Okay, so this is case with ring counter. Okay, now we try to understand the operations of the Johnson counter. I spelled it wrongly, but never mind. Okay, so Johnson counter is a bit different than the ring counter, and it is more preferable. Okay, you guys can read why it is preferable. Again, and then for Johnson counter is a bit different from the number of state. You see here is 4 flip-flop. Okay, 4 flip-flop, and 4 flip-flop here means for Johnson counter, when you have 4 flip-flop, like say where is my pencil? Okay, so you have 2n, for example. N is number of flip-flop, so you have 2 times 4 means you have 8 possible state. Okay, it's different. Okay, this is Johnson. The ring counter is that n flip-flop is equals to the same number of state. Okay, which is 4 if you have n equals to 4 flip-flop. Okay, so this is the Johnson counter. The Johnson counter, also known as a Mobius whatever. Okay, it feedbacks the inverted output. Okay, you can see here it feedback the inverted output, not the normal output. Okay, the inverted one, the complementary output. Okay, it can be called as complementary, inverted output, depends, as long as you understand. Okay, whatever the word used in the question exam. Okay, so for n-bit Johnson counter, the mode is 2n, just like what I told you guys. Okay, shows the design 4 bits. So because it's 2n, so you have 8 possible state. You can see here is 8 possible state. Okay, the Johnson if you notice, the operation is a bit different for the Johnson counter. Okay, so you see 0 0 0 and 1, and then after that you will have 1 1 0 0. If you notice, the 1 is shifting and increasing. Okay, here. Okay, so when you have 8 possible state, okay, I very worry if my phone automatically stop due to memory. So I tried my best to give sufficient time for lecture, but at the same time not that long. Okay, so you see there is 4 flip-flop. Okay, and I try my best. Okay, so clock 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oh, we don't have enough space. 7 8. Okay, so I think it's 8. Okay, so it's at rising edge, and please remember the flip-flop here. Okay, please remember. Okay, because it's a bit tedious, because you see there will be a lot of state. So how can I do it so that you can still refer to the graph, okay, while at the same time referring to my page. Okay, I think now it's a bit okay now. Okay, hopefully. Okay, so at the first time, okay, at the first time you preloaded. At the first time, if you notice, okay, the first input is 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so means the initialization here is 0. Okay, so means everyone is having 0 before it started. Okay, and then the next rising edge where it will be different. Okay, so you have 8 possible state. Okay, 8 possible state: QA, QB, QC, QD. Okay, and you see here is the output that we concern is QD bar. Okay, you can use QD, but you can put QD here and you have QD bar. Okay, but I try to make the diagram look more shorter form. Okay, because I worry it won't be captured in this camera by the phone camera. Okay, you can put here you can put QD first, then QD bar. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Okay, so at the first, okay, we make a base first. Okay, just now I used dot dot dot, but never mind. Okay, it's as long as you guys understand. Okay, so QA, so at the first it is 0. Okay, and then at the next rising edge, okay, at the next rising edge of the flip-flop, because this one is rising edge clock. Okay, so okay, now the motorcycle sound now gone. Okay, so at the first rising edge, so your QA, QB, QC is 0. The same also for QD. However, because we take the output from QD bar, that's why we have a 1 here. Okay, then if you can see, the 1 will be feedback to the DA. Okay, will be feedback to the DA. So in the next rising edge, okay, in the next rising edge, in the next rising edge, so in the next rising edge, you can see this is now preloaded. Okay, because this is 1, the 1 will go to here. What happened to 1 here? 1 will be 1 here. Okay, and then I think I make like this first so that easy to see. Okay, you see the sounds. Okay, okay, so the next is we see the next stage. Okay, we see the next stage. Now QD bar okay, the output is from the QD bar. Okay. Okay. Sorry for a bit of confusion. Okay. So, okay, the one that we feedback QD is, yes, we feedback, but we still observe the output of QD. I'm sorry for this. Okay, so this is QD. Okay, because I'm just wake up from my tired sleep, so sorry, QD. Okay, for the first is QD here, and you see your QD bar. Okay. Okay, so it is at the best, that's why you have 0 0 0. However, for QD bar you have it as 1 because it's complementary of D. Okay, so and what happened to the next stage is that this D, okay, will be transferred to this QA, okay, as the first input. Okay, as this one will be transferred to here. Okay, then the next rising edge, your QA will be 1 here. Okay, and then this one is still 0, and this one is still 0, this one is still 0. Okay, and then this one is still 1. Okay, because if you see this 0 to be 0, this one is always inverted. Okay, so the next stage is that you have 1 0 0 0. Okay, then the next rising edge, okay, the next rising edge, this output will be the input of the next flip-flop QB. So that's why, okay, so that's why this time at the third the next rising edge, this QB will have a 1, but the rest is still 0. Okay, the rest is still 0. However, QD is always still 1 here. Okay, so if you notice, because if you notice because if you notice this 1, so if you notice there is still 1 here. Okay, for this flip-flop. Okay, because it still receive the 1 from the inverted output to your A, to your flip-flop A. Okay, and then what happened to the next rising edge? Okay, to the next rising edge, okay, this QC will start receive this as the input. Okay, so now that's why you have, oh my god, okay, it's sorry, it's you see, is the ink jump away. Okay, so QC will receive the next input from QB, which is 1. So that's why the next it will be 1, and this one is still 0, and QD bar as usual still 0, still 1, because this is 0, inverted is 1. Okay, what happened is that because this is still 1, though your QA is still 1 here. Okay, and this one is still pretty much just increase. Okay, okay, so in the next rising edge, okay, in the next rising edge, you can see the one here. Okay, the one here will feed back to this DA still, so you have a 1 here. Okay, and then this one, because it have the previous, it's input from the output of QA, so you have 1. Okay, this one also the output is from the QB, so that's why you have 1 here. Okay, and then this one is a bit different, where because we start to receive 1 now from QC, so we have a 1 here. Okay, then you can see, because this is 1, so the output of the flip-flop QD bar is becoming 0 now. Okay, So the next rising edge, okay, the next rising edge, this 0 will transfer to here. So you start to have 0 here, okay, because it's coming from here. And then this one is getting from the one here, okay. It's coming from the flip-flop, previous flip-flop. And then this one taking from here, so you still have 1 here. And then the 1 here is you take from here, that's why you have 1 here. Okay. And then because this is 1 for QD, so the inverted will be 0. Okay. So this one is on and on until you have the until you have 8 possible state. So let we see first, we compile, okay, for the first, okay, you know, because it's because we have 8 state, just make it, okay. You guys can continue this, okay. I believe you understand the concept. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, okay. So sorry for the bad drawing, as long you guys understand that is more important, okay. So the first is 0 0 0 0 0, okay. And then the next is 1 0 0 0, okay. Remember the output is from QA, QB, QC, QD, okay. Next is 1 0 0 0, okay. This one is not necessarily true for all time, okay. Sometimes DB, DCBA, depends on the labeling, okay. Depends, okay. You guys make sure you understand, don't fix everything to static, otherwise if the questions change, then you'll be a problem. So the next is 1 1 0 0, okay. 1 1 0 0, then 1 1 1 0 0 0, okay. Then 1 1 1 0, okay. 1 1 1 0, then after that 1 1 1 1, then after that 0 1 1 1, okay. And then you can continue. You will notice that after that you will get 0 0 1 1 and 0 0 0 1 before resetting to 0 0 0 0, okay. I don't continue because of the limit of the page, but you guys can see now this operation, okay. I hope you guys understand on the ring counter, on the Johnson counter, okay. Okay. And then the linear shift back register is a bit straightforward, okay. You can read on your own, okay. And you see the flip-flop, the LFSR is put using feedback from predetermined flip-flop output as the input to the first flip-flop. The flip-flop output to use listed in table 12.5, okay. You can see this. The longest cycle length for n-stage flip-flop is 2n minus 2n here, okay. The longest cycle length for n-stage circuit, okay, is 2n minus 1, okay. So we go without, we just have a quick view. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay. 2 to the power of 8 and minus 1. So the longest cycle length is 255, okay. 255. So a sequence of seemingly random 1s and 0 sequence can be extracted from any flip-flop outputs. The shift register has a forbidden state of 0 as it cannot get out of the state without the help of extra circuitry, okay. So it has a forbidden state. So example, construct an 8-bit pseudo-random number generator. So by referring to table 12.5 here, okay, output from flip-flop, okay, remember it says 8-bit register, 8-bit pseudo-random. So 2 to the power of 8 just now, 2 to the power of 8 minus 1, so you have 255 cycle length, okay, longer cycle length. And you see, because it mentions stages 8 stage, so you remember, you refer to here, okay. So it is 255 and you require XOR input of 4 3 2 and 0, okay. So by referring to this table, okay, output from flip-flop 4 3 2 0 must be used, okay. you must connect to the you must relate with the XOR. The flip-flop output are fed into XOR gate, and the outputs of this gate are fed back to the leftmost flip-flop. This LFSR will go through 2 8 minus 1 cycle, okay, longer cycle, or 255 unique step before repeating. See figure 12.17. You can see, okay, this is the 8-bit pseudo-random. Okay, you can see there is a XOR, 3 XOR, okay, and then it's mentioned here XOR for at stage 4 3 2 0 XOR input. So you can see, okay, it is taken from 4 3 the XOR input 4 3 2 0. Okay, so 4 3 2 and 0. Okay, so this is the parallel output. So with that, we finish. And like I said to you guys, there is exercise here. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum, and see you guys in the next lecture.